Hi everybody, this is the Augustine Strings Wind Up, a new series where we all change strings together while having a nice conversation with an amazing guitarist. In every episode we have a different guitarist, and for the first episode we have here Alan Liu. My name is Edu Gutterres, I'm a classical guitarist from Brazil, and I'll be the host for this series of conversations.
Hello everybody, my name is Alan Liu. I'm a Canadian guitarist based in New York City, and I'm very excited to join Augustine today.
Before we start changing the strings, I just want to give you an idea of what we're doing here. For every string of the guitar, we prepare a different topic, different questions. The first string will be just the entrance, so just how you change the guitar strings and things like that. The second string, the B string, will be the beginnings of your journey. The third string will talk about the gear, the guitar. Fourth string will be about dreams, D string. Fifth string, we actually ask artificial intelligence to come up with some fun questions. And then the sixth string, I came up with some questions. So very random questions for you. Let's start changing the strings, maybe that's why we're here, right?
Let's do it.
How do you change the strings normally?
So normally I get a winding tool like this one here, and I just go from the first string all the way down to the sixth string.
Great.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Okay, and while you change the strings, are you like a fast string changer or a slow string changer?
Depends. Usually takes me around 15 to 20 minutes to change all six strings.
Okay, for today you're slower. Actually.
Right.
So because we have a lot of questions for you.
Chatting as well.
Yeah. What do you do when you're changing the strings? Like, do you watch movies? Do you listen to music?
I don't think I really do anything. I just want to get over with as quickly as possible.
Oh, and how often do you change the strings? That's a good question.
I'll usually change strings 2 days before performance, and I won't keep it any longer than, say, 2 weeks.
Oh, and I forgot to ask you the most important question, actually. Which Augustine strings do you use?
So I switch between Paragons and Imperials. For today, I'll be using the Paragons.
Nice. So you don't like the high tension strings?
I can't play them.
I know.
I can't play them to save my life. Yeah.
Alan told me this on the subway on the way here. He was like, I can't play high tension strings. I'm gonna open this for you.
Perfect. Thank you.
I'm actually during this. I can ask you this now because I really want to know. First thing I see here is a golf ball.
Right.
Very random. Can you tell us what this is?
So this is one of the items that I keep in my pouch, which I carry wherever I go. This is a golf ball, just a normal golf ball, nothing special about it. I use it as a physiotherapy tool. So if my hands are swelling or if they're tired, sometimes I'll just roll my hand on top of the golf ball, like so.
Nice.
And maybe wash my hands with warm water afterwards to speed up the recovery process.
Nice. Did you have any injuries in the past?
Never serious injuries, but like a cyst in my wrist, sometimes tendonitis in both arms. That happens.
How many hours do you practice every day? Like, do you get tired? Do you?
That's a good question. It varies. If I have a performance or a competition coming up, usually it's more, anywhere from like 4 to 8 hours.
4 to 8 is a lot.
Oh, maybe, yeah. Certainly not as much as other instrumentalists. Though.
Yeah, that's true. When you don't practice, do you feel guilty?
Yes, very much so.
And does this happen a lot? I know you practice a lot.
It happens when I don't get a very good practice session. So say if I practice for 4 hours, but I don't get a whole lot done, then yeah, I'll feel guilty. Or if I take a day off, for example, and go to the park or go to the bar with friends, yeah, I'll get that as well.
Last week you were just playing the Aranjuez concerto, right, in Canada, you just told us. When you were back here, did you take some days off or you just came and straight back to practicing?
So when I came back, I was flying with Air Canada and they actually lost my guitar. they didn't know where it was for like 4 hours, and by the time I headed back to my room where I live, they told me, "We found your guitar. It was in the airport the whole time." And so I had to come back the following day and pick it up. So that was a bit of a mess to deal with. But after that, I just got my guitar and started practicing like usual.
That's actually a good topic. Do you normally, when you travel by plane, do you check the guitar or do you bring with you? And
Yeah, I usually check my guitar. I have a carbon fiber case and also an outer foam case that I use wherever I go. It's just easier to check the guitar and not have to deal with the airline. But I totally understand why most people would want to bring it on board, or at least gate check it, because it's just safer and you won't run into what I had to deal with last week.
I see you're just finishing the first string. So the second string, the B string, we'll talk about your beginnings with the guitar, and I really want to know. I'm very curious to know how did you start playing the guitar? Like, was it your idea? Do you come from a family of musicians? Can you tell us a little bit about how it started?
I don't come from a musical family. I'm actually the first person in my family to learn an instrument and to pursue music. My father, though, he really liked country music as a teenager. And so I think he familiarized himself with the guitar then, and sort of always had in the back of his mind, if I could learn guitar, or maybe if my kids could learn guitar, that would be kind of cool. When I was 5 years old, my parents took me to a flamenco guitar concert. And I don't remember it now, but apparently I was ecstatic. I was standing for the entire concert and almost ran on stage at the end.
Nice.
A friend that came with us was asleep after 10 minutes, so I think they saw the contrast.
Do you play some flamenco nowadays or no? Just
No.
for fun?
No, but I want to learn.
Nice.
Yeah, I want to learn.
And okay, you told us you were very excited with the concert, and then your parents felt that it would be good for you to take some guitar lessons, or you were like, oh, can I?
Oh, I think they knew that if they did that, I would want to learn the guitar. And after the concert, I was begging my parents to get me a guitar, get me guitar lessons.
And then you started. Where did you start? Who was your teacher? Like, how did they find a teacher for you?
Yeah, so I was born in China, and that's where I first learned the guitar. I was about 5 years old.
Wait, so this concert was in China?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And there was a very good local teacher that my parents knew, and so they just signed me up for lessons. It was
nice.
The school wasn't too far away from where we lived, and the schedule worked out, so that's how I started.
And do you remember the beginnings? Like, did you like practicing? Did you were you a fast learner? I bet you were, but
I don't think so. I think the beginning was pretty challenging, actually. I started on a steel string acoustic guitar and not classical. And so the first few months of learning guitar was very challenging because, that's when you're developing the calluses. And as a 5-year-old, you have pretty supple flesh. And so if you're playing on an acoustic guitar, it's like your hands will bleed, and it takes a while of getting used to.
Do you remember the pieces you were playing, or?
I worked with this teacher for about a year, and I switched to another teacher who worked at the same school after that, and stayed there for 3 years in total.
Nice. And when did you move to Canada?
When I was 8 years old, so that would have been in 2009.
You didn't have any gap years from the guitar since you started?
No. No, it's been a continuous journey.
Nice, nice. Do you remember enjoying playing the guitar, or it was more like a chore for you when you started?
I really enjoyed learning the guitar. I remember with my first teacher in particular, I would bring him drawings every week, like, hey, this is me playing the guitar, and hey, this is you teaching me the guitar. And so it was and it still is, a very enjoyable process. And
you don't remember the repertoire? Or was it classical? Was it popular?
It was classical. I think I started with the alphabet song.
Oh, nice.
And then Spanish Romance, not too long afterwards. Yeah,
Nice.
very simple, single line melodies.
Nice. Okay, I want to talk about your guitar now a little
Okay.
bit. I'm very curious to know actually. Can you tell us a little bit of your guitar? Like, who is the guitar maker? Yeah.
Absolutely. So this is a 2018 double top by Martin Blackwell, who is a Canadian builder. He actually lives 2 hours away from my house. So it's a very easy for me to get from my place to his workshop. Funny story about this, or rather traumatic story about this guitar.
I can see.
Yeah, I broke this guitar 3 weeks after getting it. So I don't know if you can see this 5-inch crack here, but that was the result of me dropping my guitar out of its case because I didn't latch
Classic.
all of its latches.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
and then I believe you brought it back to him.
Yeah, I brought it back to Martin and he was able to patch it up very quickly, and so I'm very grateful for Martin. Yeah.
Nice. And are you the first? Yeah, you're the first owner of this guitar.
Yes.
Nice. And sorry if you told me. Which year did you get it?
2018.
Oh, 2018. Nice.
This is a cedar double top.
Is this your first handmade guitar?
No, I had a very beautiful instrument by Patrick Mailloux from Montreal, Canada. That was my first concert guitar.
Nice. Do you still have it?
I do.
Here in New York?
Not in New York, but in Canada. I keep all of my instruments.
Nice. What are all of your instruments?
My first classical guitar was built by Altamira. I have 2 of them. Actually, no, I have 3 of them now.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, that was my first. My second was also built by Altamira, a bigger model, because I was, around 10, 11 years old and needed an update. And then I had my Patrick Mailloux, and then now my Blackwell.
Is this your favorite?
I don't pick favorites, but
good.
I do use this very often.
Good. And so when you went back to Canada, you brought this guitar. If you had to, would you use the one you have there?
Yeah,
The Patrick?
that and also a hand-built Altamira guitar by Hansen Yao. Yeah, I'll switch between the two. The Hansen Yao guitar is a little smaller. It's a 640 guitar. This is a 650, so it takes a little bit of time to adjust to a smaller guitar.
Yeah. The next string will be about dreams. But I really want to know if you have like a dream guitar.
A dream guitar. Oof.
The one that you always wanted.
Yeah. For a long time, it was a Damen.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I really like the power that you can get from Damen guitars. These days, I'm keeping a close eye on Martin just because he's doing some interesting things. And also Antonius Mueller.
The one that Sharon has.
The one that Sharon plays, yes. It seems effortless for the player to produce a full room-filling sound, and it just has this incredible balance.
So this is the one you played at GFA, right?
Yes.
So the last edition of the GFA that Alan got the 3rd prize happened here in New York City in 2023, right, in June. And they played the finals in this huge theater.
Oh, yes.
It was unbelievable, actually. The theater was so big. And they play without microphones. So can you tell us a little bit like how this guitar reacted? How did you feel playing in such a big theater?
I was very nervous for the GFA, and playing in such a big hall or a theater was a challenge because I don't have a very big sound naturally, so I felt the need to really push and dig in to project. And that's been a very interesting learning experience. And I think I've been changing my technique a little bit to accommodate that kind of large space in the future.
Since I mentioned the GFA, I forgot, but I brought you a gift, a present. So this last edition of the GFA, I was working as, I don't know if you remember.
Yes,
I was working with the organization, and I was working backstage of the finals. And I brought my camera with me, the Polaroid, and I took a very nice picture of you. And Kevin, if you're watching, we want you here for conversation. and I want to give you this picture. I don't know if you guys can.
This is
I can send
backstage, yeah.
the picture and we can add somewhere in the frame.
Here it is.
Yeah, so the picture is Alan and Kevin right before going on stage for the finals. They're just hanging out, and I'm pretty sure you guys were very happy to be in the finals.
Perfect. Thank you for this. Yeah.
It's one of my favorites that I
Yeah.
took from that event.
Oh, I didn't even realize that you took a picture of us.
You were probably too focused on the
Lasered in. Yeah.
Okay, so next string, the D string. I want to talk about dreams and aspirations. What are your dreams professionally speaking? Like, can you tell us about, do you want to record an album? Do you want to teach? Like,
Well, I like to do a combination of performing and teaching.
nice.
Very recently, I began teaching private students, so that has been a very rewarding aspect of being a guitarist. And performing, that's something that I've always wanted to do, playing solo concerts, chamber music concerts, and being a concerto soloist is something that I want to continue to pursue.
Do you prefer playing with the orchestra or do you like more playing solo?
Orchestra.
Yeah.
Because the energy that you get from other players helps feed the performance, and I think it's much easier to channel that energy when you're with other people than it is to do it by yourself.
Yeah, I agree. And the sound coming from the orchestra.
Right, yeah.
So,
It's always fun to play with other people.
so when did you decide to like become a guitarist? We talked a little bit on our way here about like high school and everything.
Right.
So when did you like, oh, I want to be a musician, I want to be a guitarist?
I may have unconsciously made the decision when I was about 12 years old. I did a couple of festivals, including GFA, and after those experiences, I felt like this is something that I could really pursue professionally.
Nice,
So probably around, the time I was 12, 13.
nice. And so you finished high school when you started undergrad, right? Did you have like a dream school for undergrad? Did you want to stay in Canada? I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Well, I did my undergrad at the Curtis Institute of Music, studying with David Starobin and Jason Vio. And Curtis, at the time, was my dream school.
Nice.
And I'm really grateful for that education that I got.
So the next string, the A string, we asked artificial intelligence to come up with some questions for you.
Okay.
They are actually pretty good.
Oh.
Better than my questions, I think.
Really?
I'm gonna read them here.
Okay.
So the first one, this is a hard one, but you can't skip. This one you can't skip.
Okay.
If your guitar could talk, what would it say about the way you play?
You need to listen. You need to listen more.
That's
I don't listen. It's like sometimes, I'm playing and it's just automatic pilot. I feel like I'm on automatic pilot mode. My fingers are doing all the work and I'm not really tuned in to what I want to express.
How would you work on that? A tip for everyone who's watching. Guitarists.
Listen to more recordings of not just guitar, but other instrumentalists and singers. Listen to different genres of music, so it doesn't necessarily have to be classical music, it could be whatever. I don't think that limiting oneself to classical music is necessarily the best approach. I mean, you can find inspiration elsewhere as well.
Nice. This leads me to my next question. Do you have any like guilty pleasure song?
YouTube videos, and movies.
Oh, but any song
Song.
that you listen in secretly?
Secretly. Oof. Bee Gees, yeah. Staying alive.
Nice. Next question.
Okay.
If you could go back in time, whose concert would you attend?
Segovia.
Why?
Segovia is the godfather of classical guitar in so many ways, and he really pioneered being a solo guitar concert artist. And
Nice.
I would love to know what that process looked like, and also, how he was able to create such a lasting legacy.
Nice. One more question by ChatGPT.
Right.
If you were in a deserted island and you could bring only 3 albums with you, it doesn't need to be names, but
Okay.
like performers.
Performers. Segovia, Sharon Isbin, and Juilliard School.
Do you know him? Have you played for him?
Yes, I played with him years ago. Yeah.
Masterclass or?
Masterclass and like a private coaching sort of setting.
Nice, nice. I really want to know about these 2 things that you just recently did, which was GFA and the concerto competition at Juilliard.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know, how do you prepare for these like big competitions that will be very competitive? How is it different than practicing for a concert for you? How long before do you start practicing for these events?
Yeah, it's a very different process when I'm preparing for a competition versus a concert. It takes a lot more time and a lot more repetitive work. So instead of, spending, say, 50 hours on a piece, I might spend 100 hours on a piece. So double the amount.
Wow.
Just because in a concert setting, you know for a fact that the audience members are going to be on your side. Whereas in a competition, it may not necessarily feel like that. And so you have to be ready and confident in your abilities, and to have known that you can do this through, past performances, and be able to present the repertoire on a consistent level.
Nice. And for GFA specifically, it was like 2 days, right? 2 days?
2 days for the...
No, it was not 2 days. You
It was
had
about
like
a week.
Yeah,
in
a
total.
week. How does this big competitions work? Like you have the first round, and then semifinals, and then finals. And it's a lot of repertoire. Like
Right.
how long was your repertoire? Like 2 hours?
About an hour in total. So it's not too bad, thankfully. I guess when I finish a round, I sort of gamble that I'll advance and prepare as quickly as possible. Just because if you do make it into the next round, you need to be in the zone and ready and be able to just go out and perform.
Just one very quick question. How do you feel about like competitions? Do you like taking part in competitions?
I think it's a very... Competing is a good learning experience, and that's the way I try to look at it. Of course, winning or placing is nice, but I think you get a lot out of preparing for a competition, going out onto the stage and playing for people under stressful circumstances. You learn about, the performing experience, you learn about yourself, you learn about other people's tastes and preferences. So I think I try to approach it from a perspective of learning and growth.
Nice. Okay, now the game that I prepare, it's a this or that game.
This or that.
You have to pick.
Okay, I have to pick.
So winter or summer? You don't need to say why.
Winter.
Winter?
As a Canadian, winter.
As a Brazilian, I don't agree. Okay, let's go. Eat or sleep?
Sleep. That's an easy one. Sleep.
Day or night?
Night.
Cat
Night.
or dog?
Dogs. Dogs all the way.
City or countryside?
Countryside.
Bar or restaurant?
Restaurant.
Vancouver or New York?
Skip.
No, you
No?
have to.
New York. New York. Yeah.
Curtis or Juilliard?
Curtis and Juilliard.
No.
No,
You have to pick
there's a reason for that, because you learn different things at these two institutions, and the combination of both gives you a much more holistic education.
True.
So I would say Curtis and Juilliard.
That's cheating.
Maybe.
Double top or traditional?
Now double top, but maybe in the future traditional.
Nylon or carbon?
Right now, nylon.
Nice. Slow pieces or fast pieces?
Slow pieces, yeah. Slow pieces.
Empire State of Mind by Alicia Keys or New York, New York?
Empire State of Mind. It's a classic.
Barbie or Oppenheimer?
I haven't seen either, but I'm more inclined to watch Oppenheimer.
Okay. Rest stroke or free stroke?
I can't play Rush Stroke to save my life. I'm sorry.
Which one made you more nervous? This conversation here or the GFA?
This conversation, totally. There's no comparison.
So before we wrap up everything, can you give the guitarists actually some tips for those guitarists who are starting now? Any tips?
Take it slowly. Take it one step at a time. For beginners, I think it's important to learn how to sit properly before even approaching the guitar. So finding the right balance will save a lot of bad habits and injuries and pain. And, start with what you like, right? That's a great way to begin approaching the instrument. And then set goals, but, they can change and you can adapt to them. So remain flexible.
Nice. Yeah. That was basically it. Do you have all the strings on?
I have mine just added a sixth one here, we roll a hole into the guitar and boop.
Nice. I wanted to thank everyone that was watching. I hope you enjoy as much as I did. I hope you did too.
It was a pleasure, I do.
And stay tuned for the next episode and all the Augustine Strings projects. So thank you everyone, and I'll see you next time.
Perfect. Thank you.